troubling thing is that consistently over the years, the revealed preferences don't look good. There seems to be this tendency to have essentially a preference for boom-bust cycles, and both increasing the frequency and the amplitude of business cycles, when really that's quite a destructive tendency and quite a costly tendency for society. So the point is, it is always possible, also at this very moment, in any country in the world, to have high economic growth that's also sustainable, environmentally sustainable. So high, sustainable, even environmentally enhancing economic growth that is equitable, increases equity and reduces inequality, is non-inflationary, and does not lead to crises. We can do this in any country.
Are you sure about this?
There's a magic formula.
Because policymakers will listen to that and go, really? We've tried like hell. We haven't been able to.
Well, to me, they haven't tried at all.
How do you do it?
Essentially, you have to look at the mechanism that has delivered this. It's an empirical question, and we can observe countries that have performed extremely well, double-digit economic growth for decades. That is the high-growth system, which is the East Asian high-growth system implemented in Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and since 1978 under Deng Xiaoping in China as well.
But you always hear from the policymakers, yeah, they're outliers, they're different. That's something odd happened there. We can't use that as a model.
Well, of course, they have to say that because the policies adopted by these highly successful, high-growth economies are diametrically opposed to what the IMF, the World Bank, and all the international institutions are recommending countries to do in order to allegedly achieve high growth. Tell me, how many countries have actually succeeded since the creation of the IMF and the World Bank in moving decisively from developing country status to industrialized nation status?
When the IMF are looking at countries that have developed, why have they deployed these policies? Is it because they haven't got the knowledge to understand how to really go about rebooting these economies?
I think that hypothesis is not tenable. There's no empirical evidence for that. Right. The designers of those policy recommendations for developing countries are very smart people. They do understand key concepts and key realities.
So who are they serving?
Well, you just need to look at the result. The result has been that developing countries have consistently been suppressed in their economic development, and their resources have been extracted very efficiently and very cheaply for the benefit of the industrialized countries. So essentially, it's a continuation of the colonial relationships on an economic front. This is what the IMF and the World Bank have been overseeing in the last 70 years or so.